Aries, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and North Node. Hello, and I hope and pray all is well with you. Welcome to your July 2026 Tarot Messages. Aries, I was getting that some of you guys, you could be focusing on risk management, focusing on work in some ways, but you have desires when it comes to external factors that you may be wanting to focus more so on love, or you have some sort of like sexual prowess that you feel like you haven't been able to explore, and the options around you haven't given you the time, or you may not have had physical time in order to explore them how you wanted to. Some of you guys have been connected or related to some sort of reconciliation, but for those of you who haven't, it feels like romance has been struggling a little bit. It feels like it may have even come through as being a little bit like you being misrepresented or not heard completely, but you've been wanting to move out of that cycle. It could have related to how you feel about your living circumstances overall with the Eight of Wands here. Whether you wanted to move, you considered it, or you haven't and you felt like you've needed to in order to do something the way that you feel like is best. It feels like it plays an important role in how you handle something, or the impertinence of how a vehicle moves could also be what is related here too. But you have the temperance about how you're trying to balance your life out, and there's going to be large notices around the 6th through the 12th of this. You making large strides when it comes to how you feel about yourself, you rebirthing yourself, and how other individuals are going to be viewing you. It feels like you're going to be very complimented, especially when it comes to your wardrobe, things that you do on the regular, actually, Aries. It doesn't feel like you're switching things up too much, but it almost feels like a lot of people who haven't seen you or haven't had the opportunity to spend time around you are finally able to appreciate you with more confidence, or somebody is just being able to trust you more when it comes to circumstances and things like that, even when it comes to caretaking animals, cats, children, and things like that. It feels like somebody is able to trust you. I'm also seeing that a lot of you guys will need to or are going to be focusing on your habits when it comes to diets. For example, a lot of you guys are going to be getting back into the habit of having some berries in your life, raspberries, forms of like small fruits and things that I'm seeing. But I'm also seeing some of you guys who may implement like seeds or something like that in your diet in some way, shape, or form. You're going to be choosing to change this up or switch this up. And I'm also seeing your celery intake is going to be something in which some of you guys may focus on too. I'm getting that there was something that happened or related to you having to clear your path. You will have or you will see in your future that there is somebody who wants to emotionally make up with you and move on from the past. Somebody here who may want to get to know you or reconnect. Somebody who feels like they carry some sort of bond or deep, close companionship with you. It could be a family member if it is not somebody here who is a new lover or romantic interest in your life. But I'm getting here that this person, they feel like they carry some sort of energy of wanting to apologize or being very sorry. But it feels like to some degree, in some way, Aries, you had to pick up this raft and carry this person. Emotionally, it feels like to some degree you calmed this person, you did something for this person to temper them. You had something more stable at some point in time than this person did when it came to the raft in which they were sitting on. And you showed them the way, you carried them, and now they want to carry you and bring you towards peace when it comes to communication or how you're being viewed or seen. I feel like this is the type of person here who feels like a high role model. They may be somebody who wears elevated colognes or scents, or somebody who is more into luxurious items. They enjoy the finer things in life. They may enjoy tea as well, or like high class games or something like that. They may like high class sporting events. I'm getting somebody who may like tennis events, golf events, and they may have like heavy, large bets in connection to business, in relation to what they do. For some of you guys, if this isn't somebody that you know, it could also be a boss, to be mindful of that. But I'm seeing here that somebody may be taking an important vacation or time away in which they need to regather themselves, recalibrate. Even somebody who's going to have a rejuvenation of skin or recovery here. Somebody who may have some sort of prescription in which they get on that may help their skin too, or their stress levels as well as coming through as being very important. This is going to be happening around the 14th through the 17th, as there may be some sort of slight doctor visit or something in which you take care of that supports you doing your best to heal and recover from a situation in which you had to walk away from and manifest to have better days or calmer, better, more positive news that may come into you after you've either had some sort of health update, a notice about a situation. Some of you guys, you may have had something that wanted to revisit or come back. Some of you guys are just trying to keep situation, a cold, for example, away too, something like that. If you were under the weather. I'm also getting this could have been related to a child too as well. I'm seeing somebody who could be very important when it comes to their academics or their sporting events or something like that in which they do external to their academics. And their health could be very important, or your health and how you are contributed to a team, as teamwork is coming through very importantly and being very impertinent to the circumstances with a Page of Swords energy this month. There's going to be some sort of important notice in what you receive, or you have to be responsive to or supportive of, or something like that. But I'm getting here that there is some sort of unhealthy connection in which somebody carries to something, or there's an unhealthy stigma in which somebody has around something. This could be somebody's belief system when it relates to how they feel about their personality, how important they are in connection to other people. It feels as though there's a form of some egotism, somebody being narcissistic about a situation, especially after you seem to be doing better for yourself and people are off of your case about something as of late. It feels like you've recently had to deal with people who weren't necessarily giving you an update or treating you the best after they made some sort of sly comment, either about your living circumstances, who you're around, or how you choose to live your life in some way. And while you've been flying under the radar successfully, it feels like you've too just wanted to make sure that it remained that way. And you had somebody here who seems to be jealous of the fact that this is happening to you while they're being scrutinized, so they try to bring you up again. Okay, so they try to use you as the low blow, but it's not going to work with the Queen of Cups here. It shows that you have been somebody who has been a smooth, calm sailing, and you're somebody who is emotionally healed. You are also to somebody who is doing emotional repair. All right, and so people could be very sensitive when it comes to your name, Aries, this month. People may not necessarily want to stress you out with all types of feelings, or necessarily things in which they may feel like don't serve you the best. Be mindful here that somebody who may have been presented as being dark or evil or something like that is going to be given a second chance to connect with you, because somebody's going to find out that this evil is actually falsehoods and toxic waste. Toxic waste, when we see it being contributed to somebody in the past, but they're not coming through as a person carrying the same energy. Yep, somebody's innocent of this energy with the suspended person. They're different. Ace of Pentacles. There's valuable information that is true and authentic to a situation. And you have the Ten of Wands. It shows that somebody else is putting a burden on this person's back. There's going to be something that's going to change when it comes to a situation where people are making it hard for a person who may carry some, like they may be a Capricorn, for example. Okay, somebody here who may have carried what may be considered a devil energy, but in reality, they're not evil or toxic. There's somebody here who's connected to them who has a toxic history and past with them that has already been proven is not, is unhealthy and is false. This person was false, creating falsehoods that's being exposed about this person. And there's proof of this. There's already been proof of this coming out. Let's see what's happening here. Look, I can't make it up. It's the truth. It is the truth. Somebody has proof of somebody doing something demented to them, and there's proof that it shouldn't be like connected to them anymore. And people have been trying to still do this, but it's going to be overturned or something like this, or there's going to be something that is changed. Yep. Somebody's going to be forced to change this and cooperate with somebody because it's not true what they were trying to build something off of. And with the Emperor here, the Empress, oh my goodness, I thought it was the Emperor, but it's the Empress. I'm getting this vibration here that there's also been just a lot of slander that you've been having to deal with, or stress, or um, there's a lot of things in which, like, let's say you've been doing things to reverse or reduce the risk of these things, right? You may not be able to see so much of all the stress that I'm talking about, or all the things in which I've been seeing may be happening here, but as soon as you kind of open the door, there's going to be some sort of form of example that comes around the end of the month where it's like, when you open the door after you thought it was peaceful outside and it's a freaking tornado or a hurricane that just happened or something like that and you slept through it. That's the vibration that Aries gives this month. You slept through a storm in which there may have been some circumstances that were being presented one way that really are not a certain way and are another way. And it also is that there's going to be something else that shows suspicion of somebody who is trying to most likely be rude or harmful to you when it came to a circumstance too now is what's going to be exposed as well. You have friendship. You find great support and love in friendships. The people around you provide warmth and belonging. I feel like people want to take care of you. They want to be kind to you, care for you. Desire is going to be in the upright. Desire is fueling your connection, both emotionally and physically. It represents a deep craving for closeness and mutual goals. So I feel like you may even have a desire to have friends around you or closer connections to you than maybe what you were receiving at some point in time, or an acknowledgement for what you were receiving at some point in time. But you want people that are authentic, who don't have drama, who aren't in conflicts during this time. And I also see where somebody wants a conflict that is resolved, and somebody has mishandled how a or ooh, somebody misconstrued your words, Aries. That's what this is. Conflict is in the reverse, and somebody who misconstrued your words and where error has come through it. Conflict is escalating, and resolutions seem out of reach. Avoid emotional reactions and seek peaceful solutions. So I feel here that maybe just simply clarifying whatever confusion there was about a circumstance is going to be best, because there was something here when it came to how the decision was made that related to why a decision turned in or against somebody else at some point in time that's going to be rectified as well. So, Aries, those were your messages. It seems like there's going to be just a whole lot of rectification this month with a lot of things in what you have going on, and a lot of people who want to check in on your circumstances, get to know you better. You may want to get closer to people, of course, and there may be some opportunities for you to do that, but it feels like there's also going to be the opportunity for you to heal or clear up something related to your reputation around the 23rd or the 20th of the month. That's going to be very important, or an important happening for you that's going to relate to how you handle or carry over some sort of final truth, commitment, or form of action. Okay, those were your messages. Thumbs up the video, comment down below, share, subscribe. I would love to read more messages for you in the future and read more cards for you in the future as well. Thank you so very much for tuning in. Love and light to you guys, and many blessings. Take care, Aries. Bye.